Alrighty, hey everyone, it's me, the Black Queen. Alright, so on this episode of Love's Healing Heart, we are going to discuss Election Day. Okay, we're going to discuss Election Day because that is the hottest topic out right now. At this time of recording, we have only, one day left. Alright, so I just want to quickly give you some things to put on your mind before you go out to vote. Okay? So one thing that I know that we all agree on is that the topic of discussion is real change. Okay, like real change. All right, like that once every century type of change. Okay, so what needs to be understood is that any candidate that truly doesn't want to address or come up with a plan or idea ahead of time before they actually are elected is not the candidate for you. Again, we're talking about real change. And they're saying if they say anything about dealing with it after, they are not concerned about you. Okay? They are concerned about keeping the slave masters happy. I want to say it again. They're concerned about keeping the slave masters happy. So they're not here to serve you. Don't be fooled. Okay? When it comes to your life and the people that are making decisions for you, you want them to be honest. So you want to know up front what you're dealing with. All right. So the truth of the matter is, and some people aren't going to like this, but the truth of the matter is, with the Republican Party, they're going to tell you the truth for the most part. Okay. We're not talking about all those, what people like to call conspiracy theories, which they really aren't. But we're not talking about all of that stuff. I'm talking about just the basics. Okay. Like when it comes to social issues or whatever. Okay. They usually tell you up front what's going on, but it's the news makes it sound really bad. Okay, the news makes it sound really, really bad. And so once it's all said and done, whatever they've done or whatever, honestly, you realize that it didn't even affect you like you thought it was. It had no effect. Usually it's about taxes or something, tax cuts or something like that, right? And nothing happens. Everything still is running the same. Okay, so that's usually it with them. It's usually you're going to hear something bad from the news about what they're trying to take away, the Republican Party, and it doesn't even happen. Okay, now this is slightly different with the Democratic Party. Okay, so with the Democratic Party, the laws and bills, they sound good in the beginning. They sound really, really good until you realize that they screwed you in the end. For example, back in 1994, when Clinton was president, okay, it was called the 1994 crime bill, but it was really enacted or brought into law November 3rd of 1993, okay? Now, this is one of the biggest blows for the black community. This was a Democrat that put this into law, okay? And the current candidate for the Democrats is the one that wrote the bill. Okay, so let me go ahead and say this. In 1994, Joe Biden wrote the 94 crime bill that resulted in the mass incarceration of black and brown men in America. All right, so the signing in of this bill into law, what it did was it began the race to build and fill up those private prisons. Okay, you may have had relatives that may have been incarcerated or anything like that, and all of a sudden they're shipped out to a whole other state. That was those private prisons that all your favorite little Democrats, and some Republicans too that's in on it, but they're the ones that came up with all that stuff and built all these prisons to make money. Private prisons, prison labor, your family, they're slaving in there. Okay, those are Democrats that started this. All right, so the effects of the 1994 crime bill of the law were widespread, okay? And it is associated with the school to prison pipeline, okay? So the school to prison pipeline, in other words, what it meant was that what was going to happen was you was going to go to, more than likely in his lifetime, a black or brown male was going to go to jail. And the way that it was designed with this law was going to make sure that they went back to jail, right? For whatever reason, could be probation violations or whatever, right? And then that's going to happen about 3 times. After that 3rd time, and it's a felony, then they strike out. The Democrats did that for you, okay? So, yeah, they are the one, that law single-handedly helped destroy the black and brown family, okay? And the Democrats served that to you, okay? So at the same time, the same time of the introduction of this law into the Constitution, this was the way that the devil came in and targeted your music, okay? This is the same. This is how he came in and targeted your music to influence your behavior and program you to do all that needed to be done to go back to prison. Okay? Those behaviors, you already know. I don't even got to say it. All those songs that influence people to behave a certain way, right? That's why you heard that over and over on the radio. Okay? Because they wanted to make sure that you return to those new cages that your tax dollars paid for, okay? This is why you stop hearing all that pro-black and brown music on the radio, and you start hearing everything about, all the secular things of the world that you hear on the radio. That's when you start hearing about these things, okay? Because of this law, this one law, all right? All you got to do is research. The information is out there, okay? You need to have understanding that when you're dealing with the government and politics, you must remember that when they first came up with the Constitution, or when the founding fathers went on and did what they did to create or to start this country, what they did was they wanted to make sure that the president was limited in his power. So they designed governing bodies that laws or legislation to pass through in order for it to be ratified or brought into law, okay, or to become a law, okay. So right now, and it's been this way for a while, for a long time now. Right now, the Democrats are running the House of Representatives, which means they're the ones that are responsible for making or introducing new legislation or bills to create new bills to become laws, okay. So it starts with them, right? And then they go ahead on and they vote on it, and then they pass it on to the Senate, which of course the Republicans mainly have. But the problem is that they're not making sensible bills for you to be passed, okay? The issue that the Democrats aren't doing it for you, okay? They're not doing it for you, and they don't even have a plan to do it for you, okay? They're the ones responsible for not passing or creating sensible bills, okay, for you to get paid while they aren't missing a paycheck. So while this whole pandemic has been going on and they've been going back and forth, and it's taking them so long to give you a second check, you need to understand that they were getting paid. Yes, they were getting paid. They've been getting paid the whole time. Okay. They made you quit your job because of this Rona stuff, right? They made you quit your job while they were still working and getting a fat paycheck, a paycheck that they don't deserve. Okay? Yes, they make too much money to play with your life. Okay? And that's the truth. All right? So, but what they are doing, the Democrats are creating bills, just not for you. They're creating bills and protective laws for lobbyists, such as Bill Gates, okay, who donates extremely large amounts of cash, okay, into the Democratic Party to push the agenda of he and his super rich buddies, okay, to vaccinate. So, of course, let me restate what I'm saying. I'm going to make sure you're catching this. I wrote it down to make sure I'm saying it correctly to you. But the Democrats, okay, they are creating bills and protective laws for lobbyists such as Bill Gates, okay, who donates extremely large amounts of cash into the Democratic Party to push the agenda of he and his super rich buddies to vaccinate, kill, and or control all melanated people all around the world. This is a fact. This information is out there, okay? That's why they speak on him so much. It's there. The information is there. All right? The information is there. You just have to research. Stop listening to the news, okay? Because Bill Gates' super rich buddies, they own the corporations that run the news, okay? It's all about fear, keeping you in fear. Because if you're in fear, I personally know this, when you're in fear, then you're easily controlled, okay? Those that control the media control the mind, which is a quote from Jim Morrison, and it is one of the truest things out there. They are controlling you. They're telling you who's good and they're telling you who's bad. That's how you get your information. They told you. Okay? Democratic policies are policies that usually look good on the outside, but the inside has many loopholes that don't protect the people, which is evident in the state of the people and the country right now. Okay? We get so desperate for change that we are willing to accept something that looks like change, but it's not. But it's not, because everything that glitters is not gold. Okay? Everything that glitters is not gold. Ask yourself this. What was Obama able to do in his 2 terms? In 8 years, what was Obama able to do? What would these others be able to do? Okay? It's the same machine that Obama was under. And trust me, I'm not blaming him like that. I'm just saying. It was only so much he can do. It doesn't matter if they look like they represent you. Okay? Looks can be deceiving. If you know anything about me, you should already know that it's always the ones that you least expect is the ones that'll be playing you over. Okay? So anyways, the truth is, there has been more change under this current administration for blacks and browns than any other administration. Okay? Let me tell you why. Because this is all about the real change. Okay? So those monuments that remind you of, or that represent your slavery, okay, they have been taken down during this administration. Think about that. During this administration, they took down those monuments that represent your slavery or your oppression. Okay? The flags were taken down. Okay? Those Confederate flags, they were taken down. Okay? They even changed names of schools, all kinds of things, right? Okay? The Black Lives Matter, which, whatever, I have my opinion about it, but the Black Lives Matter was written in Washington, and they changed the name of the street. And when somebody tried to deface it, they were in trouble for that. They didn't let them get away with that. Think about this. Prison reform. People are getting out. People that have been in jail for a long time, they're getting out during this administration. Where are y'all thinking? Y'all just so worried about all the time on COVID, on TV, COVID, go outside. That ain't even happening like the way that they say. You know why it's not happening like the way that they say? Because they lying. Anyway. Also during this administration, there has been major tax cuts. Okay? Last but not least, and when those Democrats was playing with your money, the president went on and what did he do? He made an executive order to get you paid. Because again, these people are making $400,000 plus a year, and they're playing with your money. You asking for $1,800, and they don't want to give it to you, and it's not even theirs. All right? Wake up. Wake up. Okay? Quit believing everything you told. Wake up. This also one thing that you really don't know why they really hate him. You want to know why they hate Trump so much? Because he's been going after those child sex rings. You've been wondering why black kids been missing and this and that and that and this. He's been going after those rings. That's been snatching up the little kids and the girls and stuff. But y'all, oh no. That's why they hate him. They love what the fuck they've been, they love what they've been doing. They love what they've been doing. Okay? You need to wake up. Quit believing everything that you hear. He obviously represents the change that we need, like King Cyrus of Persia, when the Israelites were ready to come out of when God released them out of captivity. Okay? The layers of junk that this country was built on are so thick that it takes work and time to achieve it. Okay? It takes work, time, and help to achieve the change that is necessary. Okay? Think about it. There's someone that's out here talking about, okay, here's a plan. Let's rock with this plan. But the other ones are talking about, let's wait till after the election. Okay? The question is, who are they worried about serving? It's obviously not you, because they don't even care about your concerns. They're supposed to be trying to be worried about your concerns. They're not caring about your concerns. And I'm gonna be honest with you, and y'all that know, they don't like me. Who cares, right? Because I'm not going for what they're going for. You understand? We want to live right. We want to be happy. We don't want to be oppressed, right? Think about it, okay? Blacks and browns have been voting Democrat since the beginning and are still oppressed. So the issue is the way that we think. Many people vote Democrat because of the social programs, okay? But I'm here to tell you that it doesn't matter whether you're voting Republican or Democrat, okay? The social programs aren't going anywhere. They will be there, okay? You don't have to worry about that. We have been way too comfortable with the way things are. If this country has been built on slavery and slave master values, then you need a candidate that is willing to tear it down and help you rebuild it again. Okay? Not someone to just keep putting a Band-Aid on a leaking and infected wound. And we won't be bamboozled, right? We won't be bamboozled. Just because you package it in something that looks beautiful, something that we think that we want. We want real change. It's already there. You already know what you got to do. Quit following the crowd. I promise you, God is looking at you. Until next time, God bless you.